Okay, you guys, come on in, come on in. Thank you all for tuning in to the mix. As you can see what this video is going to be about, it's pretty much an R. Kelly somewhat update, and I will share a couple screens with you guys, but I have this posted here, this quote from Malcolm X per Google. I found it on Google. I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who it is for or against. I'm a human being first and foremost. Keep that in mind. He said he's a human being first and foremost. And as such, I'm for whomever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. Let that sink in, you guys, because I'm going to pose a question at the end of this video, and I will be running a poll. So also head on over to my community section and vote. I have polls going on. And for those who are new to my channel, I pre-record most of my videos, and head on over to my about section so you can get a little bit more information about my channel and my background and all of that, etc. But I need for you all to hit that like. Do me a favor, hit the like, drop some comments, and most importantly, just listen to this video from beginning to end. Yeah, so this is pretty much about R. Kelly's attorney Jennifer Bonjean's. Her tenacity, you guys, in my opinion, is unmatched. I am aware that everyone is not connected to, every social media website, which is definitely understandable. That is why I like to share some of my screens from some of the other different platforms I'm connected to. I'm going to go ahead and share my X screen, formerly known as Twitter. I like to get most of my R. Kelly updates directly either from attorney Jennifer Bonjean's X account or her actual law firm's website regarding just many different things. You all should head on over there to her website. It's very informative. It's not just about R. Kelly, but justice as a whole. And I find it to be quite interesting. And it's pretty intuitive in terms of navigating her site. So I came across this post while searching for legit updates on Mr. Robert Kelly. So let me go ahead and head on over to X. We'll be sharing my screen, and I might interject here and there, and then I'll come back with more of my commentary, action, and opinion. Okay, as you can see, you guys, I'm sharing my X page. I do follow attorney Jennifer Bonjean on X, and as you can see, I didn't find any updated R. Kelly tweets or information from her X account. But what stuck out to me was this particular post she retweeted, I guess, or pinned it to her page. And this was back in July. Enough already. Shut this hole down. People are mysteriously dying in their cells while being held on relatively minor cases. Not making sense. Okay, as you can see, she's referring to this. A detainee was found dead inside of his cell on Rikers Island early Sunday morning, marking the 7th death inside the embattled jail this year and the 4th this month. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And remember that Malcolm X quote from the beginning, you guys. So I'm going to run a poll, so just keep all of this in mind. What this post, though, shows me when attorney Jennifer Bonjean reposted it, on her X page, what this shows me is how attorney Jennifer Bonjean is totally locked in my opinion, and passionate about justice. Her integrity and ethics it's just top tier for me. I did a video on Mr. Robert Kelly's prison grievances, or should I say prison abuse and neglect towards him in a previous video, the BOP neglects, and what I will do is post that link in the description section of this channel, and also repost it in my community section just to kind of update you guys. I just want you all to follow along with me, follow along with me. I believe, I think it was a 2-part video. Like I said, I will post it in my description section. But back to attorney Jennifer Bonjean's post, or should I say her retweet or repost. I actually thought, Rikers Island was shut down. Did any of you know that this jail was still open? I actually thought it was shut down. I know it was, and don't quote me on this, it was big in the news for over the past couple years about shutting it down, especially when CV was a thing, So, but yeah, apparently not. It's still open. So let me go ahead and go over this article because I found it to be quite interesting. And I'm just going to go ahead and go over some excerpts from this. Let me click here. Okay. AMNY.com. Detainee Curtis Davis found dead on Rikers Island. 7th death this year, 4th this month. This is ridiculous. And go back to what Attorney Jennifer Bajin just said. These are minor offenses. And if those who do not know, Rikers Island is not a prison. There's a difference between jail and prison, everyone. It really is. So this is pretty much, Rikers Island is where, it's like a jail. It's where they're held while they are fighting their case. And for the most part, and I don't have the studies or, stats in front of me, to my understanding, a lot of these charges are minor. Okay, the article cites a detainee was found dead of his cell on Rikers Island early Sunday morning, making the 7th death inside the embattled jail this year and the 4th this month. Curtis Davis, 44, was found unresponsive, in his cell in the George R. Verno Center within the facility at around 5 a.m. on July 23rd. Department of Correction sources confirmed to AM New York Metro staff attempted to administer medical care to Davis, but were ultimately unsuccessful, and Davis was pronounced dead at approximately 5:37 a.m. His cause of death is currently being investigated and will be determined by the medical examiner, according to the department. All notifications have been made to the person in custody next of kin. The Federal Monitor, the Attorney General, DOJ, the Board of Corrections, BOC, the State Commissions of Corrections, SCOC, and the OCME, a spokesperson for DOC said. Davis had been in custody since June 1st, 2023. He is the 7th person to die on Rikers Island this year and the 4th this month. I wonder what he was being held there for. Like Attorney Jennifer Bajin said, most, if not, I'm not going to say all, but most likely these offenses that they are being held on are relatively minor. It's not physical or anything. So for someone to lose their life at the age of 44 just in jail fighting a case, because again, jail is where you are you're fighting a case, or you're waiting to be sent to prison if you were convicted. So it looks like they don't give any details regarding the reason Davis was held at Rikers Island. Davis' death comes just over a week after William Johnston, 47. What? And this happened all back in July, you guys. Was found unresponsive, also in his cell at George R. Verno Center on July 15th. Johnstone, who was arrested in March on robbery charges in Brooklyn and parole violations in Manhattan, was transported to Mount Sinai Queens Hospital in Astoria, where he was pronounced dead. So this particular detainee, William Johnstone, actually fighting a case, I guess, on robbery or whatever, and parole violation. So he probably was waiting to see his fates in terms of if he was going to be convicted for the robbery and then also, the parole violation. So they did go into a little bit details about the reason why he was at Rikers Island. The article further cites Felix Tavers died of an overdose on July 4th at the Anna M. Cross Center on Rikers Island, in an incident that led to the suspicion of 4 correction officers for failing to save his life. Tavers, 40, was being held on a parole violation. How are drugs getting into the jail? Wow. 2 days later, Ricky Howell died at the Bellevue Hospital jail ward from cancer. The 60-year-old was held on burglary charges. Oh my gosh. Do you all agree with this? I'm jumping in right now. Do you all agree with this? Someone's being held on burglary charges, did not violently hurt anyone, based on this article, should have died in prison of cancer. Whew. Davis's death also comes as the city risks losing control of Rikers Island. Earlier this month, a court-appointed monitor urged a judge to begin contempt proceedings against New York City over conditions at the troubled complex, setting the stage for a potential federal takeover of the jail system. Okay, because Rikers Island, to my understanding, is state ran, so the feds are trying to take over based on this article. Okay, you guys, so there you have it. Yes, this was reposted on July 26, 2023 by attorney Jennifer Bonjean, and rightfully so. Okay, you guys, I know this is a sensitive topic and I wrestle with this subject internally myself. Why? Because I'm human and I do have emotions and I have thoughts and opinions like we all do. So I will pose this question to you all. Does it matter to you if someone is convicted of a crime or not convicted of a crime, being held as most of these guys were, these men were at Rikers Island, because they had not been sent to prison yet. But does it matter to you if someone dies in jail or in prison due to prison neglect and or abuse? Keep in mind, everyone, the criminal justice system is incredibly flawed. Let's just be honest and transparent about that. Meaning, there are people or individuals being held and possibly framed, or maybe did not have proper representation to fight their cases and was probably railroaded in a sense. Overzealous prosecutors, police giving possible false statements, charges are not matching the offense in itself. You know, these are all constitutional violations, right to a fair trial. So, but does it matter to you? Does all of this matter to you? And in most instances, a lot of people jailed or in prison are in there on non-violent crimes, you know. So what are your thoughts? I'm going to, like I said, the question is out here for you guys to answer. I will post this poll in the community section. So my question again, does it matter to you if someone is convicted of a crime and they die in prison or jail? And again, you don't know what crime they're convicted of, or if they are not convicted, but they're being held and going through the process, the motions, the trial and this and that, or trying to gain an attorney, but they're being held without bond. I mean, they could be in there for parole violation, because parole violation or probation violation could be for a non-violent crime. But that particular person dies in jail due to neglect, due to abuse, due to drugs getting into the jail or prison. Is that okay? Does it matter to you? Wow, this is something, like I said, really sensitive, yet let's talk about it. Let's have this discussion. People are human beings first and foremost. And I know we are all walking around here on planet Earth imperfect. But like I said, that's why I have this quotes from Malcolm X. I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who it is for or against. I'm a human being, first and foremost. And as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. And that brings me to this, and it's going to be my last point, you guys. The former president, Trump, the way that they're prosecuting him, and I've spoken about this before, I don't agree with it. In this particular quote, and many others, in many other instances and individuals, I'm just using Trump as an example. So I can point to R. Kelly as well as an example. But I'm using Trump as an example because he was the former president. So if they can do this to the former president, and granted, this has been done way before the former president, but this sets a precedent that anybody literally can get it. This, to me, is not for the good of humanity, the way the justice system is being navigated in America. And that's just my opinion. We have a criminal justice system in the United States of America. And to my understanding, the United States of America prides itself on fair prosecution. So why isn't that being displayed nowadays, especially in my opinion? And I know it's been happening to melanated people for some time now. And it's not right. And it's unfair. It's been happening to melanated people before melanated people became citizens of the United States by way of the amendment. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, you guys. Like this video, share this video. Thank you all for tuning in to the mix. Keep your eyes and ears to the street. Just pay attention to how all of this is being navigated criminal justice wise. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.